Cedar Lake is an incredibly unique, comprehensive system of services for folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities, from the intensive services at the lodge all the way to residential 24-hour staffed residences to an apartment setting where they can live semi-independently.
The Circle of Friends campaign is a huge undertaking. It's a 5-year, $12.5 million project. It's about saying to the community, come and join us, come and be part of making a difference in the life of one person, somebody who really deserves the opportunity to have a life of abundant possibilities, and you can do that through your gift.
The Circle of Friends campaign itself is not just a capital campaign, it's a comprehensive campaign. What we mean by that is that there are capital initiatives with that, but there's also service delivery options and culture creation options that make it comprehensive. We're trying to change the way that our caregivers think about their roles. That's one big piece of this campaign that we're funding is looking at more competencies for our direct care staff. As a matter of fact, they're not just direct care staff, they are direct support professionals. We're subscribing to a national competency model through the National Alliance of Direct Support Professionals, and they help walk us through a career ladder for these individuals who would like to have an opportunity to stay in a job instead of the constant turnover that the direct care staff face in many organizations like Cedar Lake. And we want to put more funding into their pockets. We want to bring value to that through competencies, through credentialing, through a career ladder where they can reach certain rungs. And then what it allows is them to have value in their job. And what it creates is people who care so much about not only their job, but the beneficiaries who really benefit from that are the folks that we serve. As a matter of fact, our strategic plan has over $20 million of new initiatives. And our campaign is going to be funding $12.5 million of those. And of those components, we've got something called intermediate care homes. We're actually creating 4 four-person homes, another 16 individuals coming out of Cedar Lake Lodge. And what's important is that you will come up to this home and you won't be able to differentiate it from any other home in the community. That's what we're hoping for, is to create that seamless interaction and integration into the community. So we know that that's the future for Cedar Lake. We're excited, we're committed to it, and guess what? Our folks deserve it. Another key component of the campaign is our technology piece, and it's really looking at it 2 ways. We've got a very exciting intranet that we've launched internally to enhance communications and to build that spirit and enthusiasm, and it keeps that small grassroots feel that Cedar Lake started at. Another most important part is the technology that exists for people with disabilities who want to live more independently, whether it's through assistive devices such as iPads and iPods, and you can download certain apps to allow folks to be able to navigate through the city, alarms that help wake them up, assistive devices to help them cook with safety. And there might be some folks that don't want to have a direct support worker there in the home or in the apartment with them, and they would prefer to turn on a camera and say, I need some assistance, can you help me? That's all they needed. And so that's why we want to be on the cutting edge of technology so that the people that we serve can really be independent. When it comes to the financial need of those we serve, there's many families who have the haunting question is, what's going to happen to my loved one when I die? And Cedar Lake helps provide that answer as we partner with our Medicaid system to help provide that funding. And also we have a foundation that has been created, and those that don't qualify for the funding, it's called the Indigent Care Fund. We help provide funding to the tune of almost $500,000 a year to help those individuals live independently in an apartment situation or in a staff residence. And that's a critical part of our campaign, is an indigent care fund piece. As a matter of fact, that's $2 million of that to help make sure that we can assist those individuals that don't have the funding.
The Circle of Friends campaign is huge. It's impossible for us to do this by ourselves. We have some campaign co-chairs, some people who are involved with Cedar Lake and who have stepped up and said, I will help lead this campaign. But not just that. We've been so fortunate to have identified and enlisted 5 wonderful, talented, compassionate, caring women who have said, I've seen what Cedar Lake is about, and I want to be part of that. And so we took the Fab 5 and we toured them around a little bit. And then we got them back and said, tell us what you think. Tell us what you saw. What was it like for you? And here's what they said.
Cedar Lake really is an extension to our family. It has been like an older sibling to me because it is taking care of my older sister. It has been a parent to Kate, and it's been a huge sense of comfort and kind of like a cushion to know that if you fall, if something happens to our family, that they are there to take care of Kate if we are not there.
I've been to Cedar Lake a few times with Mary Nancy to pick up Kate, but I didn't know much about it. I know that the Hubbards love it, and it's made such a difference in their life. So this has been a great experience to get to go through and see what it's all about.
I was one of those, which I'm now learning is many, that knew Cedar Lake as a company that would come and pick up clothing or furniture or, things my mom would say, okay, Cedar Lake Lodge is coming, what do we have to give away?
My Aunt Barbara is 50 years old. She has Down syndrome. And my mom and her brothers and sisters always worried about what would happen to Barbara when my grandmother passed away. And she did about 4 years ago. And Barbara moved in with Cedar Lake, and it's been an absolute blessing. We don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about the level of care she's getting. We don't have to worry that people aren't loving her as much as we may, because they do.
My husband actually owns Elite Homes, and he would always say, do you have anything for Cedar Lake Lodge? And I would put the bag out on the front porch. So he started explaining to me the facility and what Cedar Lake really does. I was blown away. And then Joe really got passionate about building homes and bringing people on board and educating people on how this would be such a beautiful thing to have these wonderful people living in these communities.
Well, the first facility, which was the enrichment center, and that was amazing. We had a man come up to us named David immediately and started spouting off all of these things that he has learned and working on through this enrichment center. His chest was puffed out. He was so proud. It was really touching.
To understand what Cedar Lake does and to see them firsthand as we did today and to see the amount of care they provide others, I think that it speaks for themselves. It's just, you can't leave and say, oh well, they're out in LaGrange, maybe we'll see them next year. I just think it's impossible when they're such special people.
I couldn't tell you how many hugs I got today. And you could tell that the staff loved what they were doing. Loved it.
All of the places we visited today, from the single home to the lodge and everything in between, it was really impressive.
I think we're all kind of saying, what else can we do to help? God forbid any of us need Cedar Lake, but if we ever do, they're here. And let's take them and wrap our arms around them and give them everything we can.
My parents nor my siblings, none of us would be where we are today as far as happiness and going to bed at night and being able to sleep without waking up sad and wondering what's going to happen to your sister or your daughter, like Cedar Lake has. And it's been a true blessing and one that has my support for the rest of my life.
I would just say to people in the community that may or may not understand the need to open their eyes and come see, because again, there are a lot of people like Barbara, and they need a home and they need a place to live and flourish.
It's an amazing place, and there's no way you can even learn about it and not fall in love with it and want to help. And all it takes is one hug, one kiss, one smile from one resident, and you're hooked. And that's it. And you want to be in the circle of Cedar Lake, and you want to be in the circle for life.
Some people might be asking, how do I get involved? How do I become a part of the Circle of Friends? Come, see what we're doing, see our facilities, but also more importantly, see our direct support professionals who interact and provide that quality of life for the people we serve. That's when the passion really begins. That's when the real eye-opening experience happens, and that people say, I want to be a part of their lives. I want to be a part of the Circle of Friends forever.